Yeah, that's all I got. Raise me up so I can sit on tables. You raise me up so I don't have more lyrics. Yeah! Guys, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me today. And that little thing I did there is called the Falsetto Bailout Protocol, okay? And sometimes I just get lost in my songs or sentences even, and I just kind of gotta raise it up real high so I can shred among the clouds, break it, crush it, then I let that thing fly. And that's just kind of how I like to live my life because I get lost so often. If you go up there and you really just take it apart, man, and you just crush. It's like the grand finale in fireworks, man. Doesn't matter what preceded, what came before, as long as you nail that falsetto, as long as your voice gets up real high, yeah, then it just doesn't matter. And that's how I like to live my life because, things are gonna be wavy, right? You're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall, but if you crush it, man, you crush it with the grand finale, nobody remembers a thing, right? So at the end of this podcast, if I'm not feeling too great about it, I'll just raise it up real smooth. And you guys are like, wow, I'm just left with a lot of, euphoria, dopamine, chemicals, hormones, things that make me feel great. And all I'll remember is the smile that he left on my face. And that's what falsetto does for you, man. And that's what it does for me. It's kind of just like shredding on a guitar, And what happens after someone shreds on a guitar? Class? Anybody? If you're in the middle of a concert and someone lays the juiciest, tastiest riffs ever, what happens? Thunderous applause, guys. You hold and wait for praise to rain upon you, guys. So that's what I'm trying to do in my life with songs and sentences and also with arguments, guys. It's helped me a lot with my arguments because I'll be honest, my debating, my points, laying out, my bullets in conversation to really lay forth my point of view and my stance is not the best, okay? Sometimes I fall flat, a lot, all the time. I fall flat on my face. And it's hard for me to really win these arguments. I'm like, what about this and this? Oh, okay, that's a good point. Okay. And I lose them all the time, but with arguments, dude, I'll just stumble and crap myself through this whole conversation and yeah, but hold on. It doesn't matter what I just said or what you said about the thing that I mentioned because my voice is higher than yours. Yeah! And I moonwalk away, guys, because there's no coming back from that. I go, woo! And well, guess he won. Guess there's no even debating that whole thing he just did, the spectacle, because all you can do is go, wow. And so I'm really trying to incorporate that more into my life because I've lost so many arguments, guys. And especially with smokers, dude. Have you ever tried to win an argument with someone who smokes? Not easy, dude. I have a few family members that do smoke, and my brother specifically, man, we'll get into it and we're debating, going back and forth points, and mine are just really not, doing that great. But sometimes I feel like I am holding my ground, and even if you do, and you're like, this is the greatest point, good luck trying to argue this. Serve, smack it his way, and I'm like, bring it, man. What do you got? And he'll look at me, man. And a smoker, dude, they'll look at you, and they'll just wait, and you're like, come on. And I'm freaking, and you're like, okay, great. Now we gotta wait for this. He's smoking in the middle of the conversation. We're just waiting. He's just puffing. And they should really put hold music in the middle of his puff, just because you're just sitting there waiting, and the suspense is killing you. I'm like, what's okay? Well, maybe he does have a few points, and his brain is getting bigger, his head's swelling up, and the brainstorming, the cerebral hurricane things that are happening, the neurons that are firing. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? And it's so subtle and so smooth. Just let me tell you why you're wrong. And you're like, oh, jeez. And I don't even know how to debate that. But so that's why I'm trying to incorporate some falsetto, because it's hard. It's hard to win that argument. Yeah, that's not how I remember it. And you're like, oh, jeez. Especially if you take that long, I'm on the edge of my seat, and you're like, okay, I can't wait. Like, I don't even want to talk to you about this. I feel like I don't even want to hear your points. I'm winning this argument, but I gotta know what you're about to say, man. It's just. So it's impossible to win an argument with a smoker, guys, but that's where the falsetto is going to come in. So I'm going to say, hey, it doesn't matter how long you've been sucking on that thing, because my voice is better than yours. And the smoker's not going to falsetto. So you got that battle 10 times out of 10. And, so if you guys are really struggling with that like me, I encourage you to try that out for yourselves. But anyways, what else is going on in the world? With you guys, I know you can't really answer it back. This is more of just a courtesy thing to have you guys emotionally invested in me. So now I'll tell you what's happening on my end. So work has been interesting. And it hasn't been interesting per se for actual interesting reasons, but more so because it hasn't been interesting at all. Can I say that word anymore? That's quite interesting. So basically, as background artists, right? We are hired on for a very specific number of dates throughout the course of production. That's all well and good. I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm cool. I'm prepared. And for whatever reason, things have recently changed, right? That worked for a while, but because of the varying factors of things that go into the process that we call a movie, things above my pay grade, I'm not too on the totem pole. So things have changed, and I'm not really being used at all. Don't know why, and honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm still getting paid. And they keep bringing me on. I have no idea if they're wasting so much money on me, but they call me freaking every morning. Hey, Tristan, we're going to need you here at this time, this place. Can you bring that? Be prepared. Love it, kid. See ya. Bye. I'm like, all right. I'll be there. And I just sit around and holding on my phone, texting people, what are you doing? You working? What's that like? And I just sit around, dude, just eating snacks up because also never found my $5. I'm like, this is where I make my money back. Yeah, I'm just going to do some collateral here. I'm just kind of hanging around, and I really don't know why they keep bringing me back. They're wasting a ton, dude. Especially again, if you factor in my snack consumption, I'm a hefty price, okay, to keep me around. So it must be my presence, my elegance. Maybe it's just the way they see me leaning in the hallway. Like, you know what? Bring that guy back. He brings a certain vibe to the place that we just can't afford to not have. So it's all well and good. There are worse gigs to have than just sit around playing Angry Birds and eating Oreos, right? So I'm having a good time. The only issue with that, however, is that I don't have a ton of fun stories for you from set to share, especially because I'm spending so much of my time there that if I don't have a ton to bring back and share here, that's really what's most important for me, is to have these good stories. And, I have a couple. I don't know if they're really interesting per se. It was more so just something that made me laugh in the moment. It was one of those joy bank, right? A happy deposit for my laughter withdrawals. So what happened was, on a movie set, right, it's very COVID conscious, right? Masks all the time, 24/7, except for while you're filming, masks off. They call cut, mask back on. So that's kind of how we follow it and we deal. And we were sitting in these rows, right, of audience people. We're just kind of just waiting. And they call cut. I put my mask back on. Bang. And I look at this guy. He's like right kind of next to me, and he's like, hey, has anyone seen my mask? I'm like, no, I don't know what it is. Like, it kind of looks like this. Like, I know what it looks like. We're all wearing the same one. And so he's just kind of really confused, trying to figure out where his mask is. And he sits down, he's like really defeated. He's just like, oh, I don't know where I put my mask. I was like, it's no problem, you can get a new one. He's like, yeah, it's just, I like that one. I was really trying to find my mask, and I'm still standing up. I'm looking down at him, and he's like, man, I don't know where it went. And at that moment, this lady that's sitting in front of him stands up. And he looks down, dude. And I'm still like looking. I was like, yeah, it'll turn up soon. And I see his eyes go, oh, they bug. And then they go sad. And he's like, oh, no. And there was his mask that some lady had been sitting on for the past 25 minutes. And it's just crumpled and sweaty and gross and disgusting. He goes, I found it. And he looked so sad, and I didn't mean to laugh at his painting, but I had to walk away and turn because it was that funny to me that, again, you can get an extra mask at any point. There's thousands of them. But he was so focused on this, and that's where the mask show, he's like, I found it. And it was just so sad. I felt so bad, but also it's just like a funny moment for me. So that's where I find my joy, right? I'm not really doing anything productive, but when I watch someone else's day get ruined, that's no, I'm joking. But when I see those kind of like just unfortunate circumstances, they're a little. It's not hurting anyone, but it was just funny to witness. So I thought that was funny for me. And I'm always gonna rely on that little piece of my joy, man, because that will never not make me smile. The other thing that happened was kind of interesting was that so we were going to lunch, right? And everyone kind of shows up in their costumes, uniforms, and whatever else that may entail. And so I see this guy who is in this whole freaking police chief uniform, and he's carrying himself very strong. Like, hey, I'm thinking, oh wow, it must be because they know they have security and police officers and stuff on set. It's all well and good. It's like, wow, we're gonna eat lunch next to this guy. I'm gonna sit next to him. We'll converse a little bit, but I will be very respectful and polite. Sit up straight. Yes sir, no sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, and polite and respectful and honorable and all the things that my dad taught me to be. So I go through this whole thing with perfect manners, man. Talk to this guy for a while, and he leans over. He's like, so y'all staying out of trouble? I'm like, yes, sir. Not messing around at all. Just taking this thing very, very serious and doing what needs to be done. And he's like, all right, so no one's doing any of the weed, right? I'm like, no, sir. No, I don't know where that is. That's not me. Not doing any weed, sir. And he's like, all right, well, if anyone does see any weed, just pass it my way so I can get a little hit. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, but this whole get-up is all fake, man. But if you guys see some weed or something, let me know. I'm like, huh? So immediately I slouch again, like, whatever, get off this. I stopped calling him sir. I'm like, all right, you're just a normal guy. So I was sitting there for who knows how long, being so nice and putting this guy up on a pedestal, and apparently it was just some stoner guy in a costume. So that was what happened at lunch, and that was really all the stories I have from set thus far. But what else is going? Oh, so that just didn't record at all then. That's fantastic. Anyways, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by technology was that I've got a health update for you. That's right, guys. I'm back at it again with the health updates, and I know you're sitting there kicking, screaming, punching the air saying, again, he keeps coming on here every single time after time, saying he's going to turn the corner, be a better person, but he has yet to prove he is anything more than a slob. Guys, just give me a chance. Hear me out, because this time I mean it. I swear it. I have figured it out. That's right, guys. I am officially back on the health wagon. I have turned the corner. I am on the straight and narrow after week of lackluster display of discipline. I have figured it out. So let's give it up for me, huh? Let's give it up for me and Tristan's health consciousness. Yeah, dude. So I'm just really proud of myself. Honestly, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. It's just one of those things that when you really finally figured it out, it's just everything just clicks, and it's an amazing feeling, let me tell you. However, I will say that the biggest factor for me kickstarting myself in this direction was that I ran out of money. Go for broke. I went for broke, dude. I couldn't afford my gluttonous behavior anymore. And I was like, Mom, I got gas and these snacks. I only have $8 in my bank account. And she laughed, and that was hurtful. But yeah, I literally just I ate my bank account dry. So yeah, that was the biggest kick in the pants I needed. But you know what? It worked out for me, and we are back already many days successfully on this freaking new path, and I'm feeling good, guys. And, it becomes one of those things, and this is what I wanted to talk about with interesting thoughts. And if you haven't been here before, I know I've kind of missed the last couple episodes with interesting thoughts, but interesting thoughts, right, are more than just interesting thoughts. These are in Tristan's thoughts. These are the things that I'm kind of dwelling on throughout the week, just kind of scrambling around in my noggin. I just want to share that with you today, so skip the details and the plots. These are some of my interesting thoughts. It's kind of heavy metal there at the end. But anyways, yeah, so what I've been thinking about is what's so hard for me is when I'm trying to get back into these things or make a new good habit in my life is I try to do everything perfect, right? You got to go hard, man. Go hard. That's what it is. And that's kind of how life is for all these things. You got to go hard, play hard, work hard. And I get kind of overwhelmed with that, right? It's the easy way, the hard way. You got to go big, go home, got to do these things. And I just kind of came to the conclusion that I don't want to go hard with these things all the time. So what's really been successful for me, because I do have money in my account now, and I'm still continuing on this righteous path, is that I'm not going hard. I'm going medium, guys. It is okay. It's completely okay to just strive for medium. The average baseline, don't try and scratch the surface like, whoa, you're bottom there, you haven't scratched the surface. Don't even try to scratch the surface. Just be on the surface, the baseline, the middle, the freaking median, whatever it may be. Don't try and be the best. Do not strive for greatness. Strive for the middle of the road, and that's okay, and it works. Is my diet the best? No. Is my workout plan the best? No. Is everything perfect? No. But am I kind of in the middle of, average of, like, strive for mediocrity is what I'm saying, and it works, guys. Don't aim too high, just aim a little low, and it'll work out. So yeah, don't freaking shoot for the stars, guys. Just like shoot for, something that's like not too far away, and just shoot, guys. Just shoot it all, and you'll be okay. That's basically what the moral of the story is here, and I've been having a lot of success with it right now. So yeah, guys, just go medium. What else is going on? Oh, dude, I went airsofting this past weekend, right, man? Look at the new shirt. Looking good, feeling good. Mostly due to my diet. But anyways, I went airsofting this past weekend with some people from set. And if you don't know what airsoft is, it's basically where you get a group of people that want to simulate war and combat as real and as painful as possible. Now, okay, it's just these little, plastic BBs. And I had an airsoft gun when I was a kid, right? We had battles and wars freaking in the backyard all the time. I was like, how bad could it be? It sounds like a good bonding experience with these people. I was genuinely excited. So I show up there. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be cool. And I walk in there to buy my little bracelet. And the guy's like, all right, it's going to be a little bit extra today because it's SWAT team day. I'm like, SWAT team? He's like, oh, okay, so we're doing like a little donation to the SWAT fund. That's all well and good. Love the SWAT team. I support the cause. He's like, no, actually, they're going to be playing with you guys today. I was like, play? What do you mean? Freaking play? Play the guy with me? I don't even know what I'm doing. So these guys, SWAT team, the freaking trucks, giant tanks roll in, guys decked in camo to the nines. They look like they're ready for war. I'm like, this is not the ideal situation for an amateur. I came here for a nice leisurely day of high velocity plastic exchanges. So I was not ready for SEAL Team 6 to come just strolling through the door on me like that. So yeah, I was still excited but a little nervous. They told me to wear like some extra layers of fabric because they kind of sting a bit. I was like, it'll be fine. I'd rather just not overheat, so I wore my thinnest hoodie with nothing underneath it because I want to have, good agility and whatnot. And first game in, we roll onto the field like, all right, this is exciting. How do you shoot? Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. That's a bit stronger than I thought, but all right. So we roll into this there. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. It's quiet. There's shots. Things are going on overhead. I peek around the corner. Laser to pieces, man. Just shoots me head to toe, man. So I'm like, what is these things? This is a streak down my chest like that. That was horrible. That was so painful, man. And they say it's honor based, right? Because you can't see if a paintball like splats on you. It's like, okay, gotta say hit. I'm out. So it is honor based in that sense, where I was honoring the fact that I had been hit. They were not honoring the fact that I was out. So I'm like, hey guys, hit. And the SWAT team's like, no, you're not. I'm like, oh, I'm getting shot from like in all directions in the middle. I'm like, and there's just still lasering me. I don't know if my scream, it was like a freaking predator and the prey, like, oh, there's a sound, get more. I'm like, what is going on right now? So they had no reason. Every single shot just riddled my body, freaking holes and bruises and welts. Like, what is going on? Freaking tic-tac-toe, dude. I got freaking connect the dots on my whole body. So I was not enjoying it at all, and I was trying my best to stay strong for my team. I was like, these SWAT guys are a little good, right? I'll admit it, but I think we could figure this out. So I'm trying all of my advantages I can do. You have this little band on your arms to tell you what team you're on. So I kind of rotated inwards so you can't really see the lights. Like, okay, so maybe the blue team, I was on the red team, maybe the blue team will think I'm one of them because my light is on the inside. I give myself a little advantage, a little cheat move. And that didn't work because I started getting shot by my own team as well. So I was getting shot from both sides. Like, bad idea. I'm red, guys. I'm red team. Oh, man down. I was not, it was really, really poor planning on my part. And that's what I get for trying to freaking cheat the system. And yeah, so it was pretty rough. I won't lie. And there was kids there too. There was little kids, and I wanted to follow them because I wanted to be here. I wanted to protect these little guys. Like, hey, you want to go this way? And he's got all this gear and a little flashlight. He's kind of decked out as well. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go with you, buddy. We'll take care of him. Good for you. And so I'm following this kid, and we're going through these little corridors. Like, there's like 8 people in there, okay? And we're gonna jump out and we're gonna get them together. I'm like, you got it, man. I'm here to protect you, just so you know, okay? I will take care of you. I will fight for you against these SWAT team members. So we immediately bust in the door. He kicks in. I hear him, this little kid screaming, ah, ah! He gets screaming like, oh my gosh. And I was just completely already riddled with bullets. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. So I turn around and walk the other way because I just didn't want any part of that. So that kid was out, but you know what? I lived to see another day. And yeah, so that was a struggle in its own right. So that was airsoft. That was really my whole experience, but I can't wait to go again, man. There's something addicting about just putting yourself in the zone. And sure, I died, and sure, I know that I wouldn't be any good at actual combat, but there's something satisfying of just being out there on your own. And yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe I won't go again. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyways, that was my experience, guys, and that's all I have to share with you, I think, today on the podcast. That was my airsofting experience. The health, the freaking set. That's really all I have for you today. I need to start doing some more practice podcasts so I can kind of just spit some more stuff out, and whether it's not actual material or not, that we can just kind of talk and see what happens. I love you guys so much. I love everybody out in the world. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep smiling. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Ow, ow, ow.